Good morning, Patriot family. Thank you so much for joining Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle. How are you guys doing this fantastic Monday morning? I don't know about fantastic.
I mean, I love, she's like trying so hard. She's like, it is fantastic. Damn it. That's what we're going to say.
It is what it
And
is
we're going to just get through it. And it is. And listen, it was a great weekend. We had a couple of, and I don't know if it's up here by you, but down further south, Florida by me, a couple of wildfires.
Really?
Yeah. We're in like a historic drought.
Yes,
apparently.
we are. It is very strange.
And then so somebody on DeSantis's team, the governor's team, was like, well, this is what happens when you don't have hurricanes. And I'm like, seriously?
No, yeah.
If we don't have like a busy hurricane season, we end up with a drought.
Yep. We're in like tropical. It's tropical America.
I
guess. It just is what it is.
I mean, it is. We've got so much we're going to cover today, Allie. Some fun stuff that I know you're going to appreciate. We're just calling it Scott Presler versus Thune. Ding ding. I would have tuned in for that UFC match.
Yep.
I would have.
That would have been great.
There's also some great heartwarming rescues taking place in the tragedy that's Venezuela with the two back-to-back earthquakes. So we'll touch on that. Plus, it's not just America that's deporting. We've said this before. The European Union has voted not only to start deportations. I don't know how they're gonna figure that out. Because as we found in this country, it's not been easy. We've been challenged and court cases and whatnot. So
well, their court system's a little different than ours. So we'll see what that looks like.
Take your No Kings protest over there.
Yeah,
okay.
Do that. How about you just go do that? Leave us alone.
Let us have our July 4th, guys. All right. Well, I guess we're ready to open the mic.
Yes. Let's get out of pocket.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't care. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining in. By the way, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to, I think,
yeah, that's yours now.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
And thank you to Talk Red, our family, for all your help with what you do. Allie, we love receipts. I don't think it's just.
I don't think everybody that. Never mind.
I mean, I don't just think it's the female in us. You almost took the whole table.
My bad.
Move it over just a little.
Un
momento.
Are we good?
Okay, yeah, we're good. Right. It's not just because we're females that we like receipts, but because we're Republicans or conservatives, and we like the fact that we have receipts. So when Scott Presler posted this, I think I saw that you reshared it. Let's take Senator John Cornyn just a little bit down memory lane for him. Let's help him. He posted this back in March of just this year. So unless he hit his head on something, he should remember. I just voted for the Save America Act, and I support using the what? Talking filibuster and making any changes necessary to Senate rules to get this passed. I'm glad that the Senate will debate this. Blah, blah, blah. He says, Scott Presler says the statement in support of the talking filibuster was in March, sir.
Look.
So, I mean, we're not making this up when we talk about some of the disgust and disdain that we have for those in the Senate.
Yeah.
Yes, because this is not, we didn't make this up. We didn't make up like, hey, you could do this thing called the talking filibuster, or you could nuke the filibuster. You all told us these were options.
Right. Well, yes. One of you told us that it was an option. And this is what happens when you actually read rules. Senate rules, right? Yeah. This is what happens when you read Senate rules and you know how to apply them. Thank you, Senator Mike Lee, for informing the U.S. public on what a talking filibuster actually is and how it can be applied to this situation when it comes to the Save America Act. I don't understand why we're not doing it. People are like, oh, we just don't have the votes. Okay, then
work for them.
Right. That's the whole point of having a whip, John Barrasso. I don't know what your problem is, but this is just crazy. Like, again, I will say you are now becoming a national security threat when you are refusing to pass,
especially with this,
the Save America Act, because you only want American citizens to vote and you want proof of citizenship when you are voting. Otherwise, again, a nation that cannot secure its elections cannot long-term guarantee its sovereignty. That is
Absolutely.
my quote from an article I wrote almost a year ago on the Save America Act. Like, why is the Senate becoming a bottleneck? That is not what this is. That's not your purpose.
And we've been hearing for a while a lot of those that are in the House. I mean, it started off as encouragement,
Yeah.
and then it grew to like, you really should do this, and then it grew to like, why aren't you doing this? And now, did you see where Representative Donalds came out and he was like, "Yeah, the Senate's just they suck."
Yeah, no, really. I did. I've seen that. And he's right.
Yeah.
Why are you more worried about protecting an old like filibuster than protecting the American vote,
Yeah.
which is essentially protecting American sovereignty?
Yeah.
Why is that your why?
And when there's pushback from your constituency, when there's pushback from those on both sides of the aisle, really, that want this done in as far as the American people, when there's any type of pushback, you look at somebody like Scott Presler. We've been through this, Allie, where then you try to show up as a media arm and try to hold people accountable, and they remove you. They remove you as the person, Scott Presler, who's trying to hold Leader Thune accountable. I don't know if you guys saw this, but take a look. This is a little video by Benny Johnson talking about Senator Thune having Scott Presler removed from the convention out in Idaho. Take a look.
The other night, I was at the UFC 250 event at the White House, and in between fights, I passed by Senate Majority Leader John Thune. He was partying it up, having a grand old time. He had a whole crew there. And I thought, what the hell are you doing here? Like, you're despised by the MAGA base. Everybody knows that you've been cutting off President Trump at the knees. You refuse to pass the Save America Act. You refuse to enact President Trump's agenda or appoint his judges. You can't even get rid of the liberal parliamentarian that keeps stripping out the MAGA agenda from Senate bills.
Right.
And so it's a bad look for you to be partying while the entire influencer class and base hates you. This is like one example. It's Scott Presler, who's been posting on X for hundreds of days asking John Thune to pass the Save America Act. Scott Presler has millions of followers, and he's constantly going after rhinos in the Senate, including some of John Thune's best friends and lieutenants like John Cornyn. And I think above anyone else, it was Scott Presler who got John Cornyn political career nuked from space.
Yes. Yeah.
By uncovering a video like this, a great example, John Cornyn saying he's for amnesty.
De fronteras seguras, él apoya firmemente la legalización de los Dreamers.
I'm John Cornyn, and I approve this message.
John Cornyn, for the Dreamers. You know, like the Dreamers who attacked the UFC event at the White House. Like, it was a dreamer. It was a criminal alien from Mexico that planned on flying drones with bombs into the UFC event. They've all been arrested now by the FBI and having a mass slaughter. Well, anyway, John Cornyn is for those.
So
Yes.
part of what he goes on to talk about here is that Scott Presler was attending a GOP event in Idaho, and Senator Thune has Scott Presler removed. Now, do you remember when we attended a GOP quarterly event here in the state of Florida?
I do.
Do you remember when two Latina women were standing in line for our coffee?
I do.
And then all of a sudden it was like, and I just came across this video the other day, and I think I sent it. I put it in the Google Drive, but I got to send it to you. Literally removed. And for what? Because your presence it makes them nervous because they know you're not going to shut up about it.
And that we ask difficult questions that you can't answer. So
that we already know the answer to.
That we already know
But
right.
we're willing to give you a try.
It's interesting to see. And then the guy that was it the chief of arms, I believe it was, or I don't know.
Oh, the parliamentarian, is that what you're talking about?
No, the one that got fired. He got removed from his position. Who kept Scott Presler kind of out of the sergeant of arms. That's what it was. Thank you. He ended up being fired for that whole stunt that occurred. So it's just
wow.
For you to one not pass one of the only it seems like the only the most important legislation of the day of this day
This
and
time,
age
yeah.
right now, which is the Save
In
America
the most crucial time, right before the midterm.
exactly in the most crucial time where over 80% of Americans agree to get this passed. When you are refusing to do that, and you're keeping a guy out of the guy that has been calling you out, calling out the Senate, and pushing it the most out of a GOP event because you can't handle the pressure, you should not be in the seat you're in.
I don't know what you expect being elected to the Senate. I mean, listen, there's a reason why there's fewer of you. There's a reason why I guess some of you feel like you're a little bit more entitled when you serve in the Senate. No, the mandate is still the same. We give you grace because we choose to, but to again, for your battle to be against Scott Presler and his presence at a GOP event after he just came out and single-handedly flipped so many states with his ballot chasing program in the 2024 election. Tell me that you don't care about Trump, or you don't care about the American people, or America first largely throughout the United States. You would rather, instead of going and finding the votes to be able to do your job effectively, you would rather pick on somebody as a bully, really, somebody that has the ear of the American people, who's forcing you. Listen, he's trying to save your job is what he's trying to do. If you would listen, these people don't have to rise. We don't have to constantly appeal to those that elect us, that are elected to represent us. We can just primary you.
Right.
Like, it's grace, sir. That's what it is. It doesn't feel good, but it is. It's grace.
But the self-funders will kind of just look at you and go, nice try. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is pissing off your voters because you're sending mailers and mailers and mailers, and you're not meeting anybody at the door.
If you fan that flame enough and it catches the White House.
Exactly. That's the whole point. So it just, again,
or Elon.
He needs to be removed from office. This is a serious issue when you are refusing to pass a bill that over 80% of Americans want this bill passed, which means you're tell me that you don't care about your constituency or the sovereignty of America without telling me.
And again, you don't care at a most dire time.
That part.
You have seen all the numbers, Leader Thune,
He's a socialist.
of what's come across our border. You've seen the number. You're in cleared a lot of clearance. You get a lot of clearance.
Privilege.
I don't know what I'm trying. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
He's
saying.
got a lot of security clearances that he's privy to. He understands he of all people now understands what took place in 2020. I don't think they like it because they weren't in favor of backing Trump when Trump was saying that our election was stolen. Wow. I wonder why they dropped all of the defamation charges against Mike Lindell, because that's what exploratory evidence means, is that you can't produce it. And so then the onus is on Lindell to be able to produce it. And when he does, they're like, oh, well, now Smartmatic is folding. They're no longer in business. They've been bought out. They're dropping charges. They're dropping criminal charges. And this is why, because we know that elections have not been secure in this country. I think you shared this. This is Senator Tillis talking about blocking Trump's Save America Act because there's a math problem. Let's take a listen.
It's quite simple. It's a math problem. We simply don't have the votes, and the Save America Act will not be implemented in time for this election. Anybody that knows anything about election law understands that, and the reason I do is I passed voter ID when I was Speaker of the House. And if anybody thinks that you're going to implement something as expansive as the SAVE Act in 2 months, see, everybody's talking about November, right? Okay, that's 5 months away. But people will be doing some early voting. People will have to deal with registrations. Does any rational person who's ever had any experience with implementing election law really think that it's possible to have all that in place in time for this election and not be disruptive? And incidentally, it's an unfunded mandate that has $0 for implementation. So I would ask anybody who actually understands how to pass laws, implement them, and have them in place at the level that they need to be to ensure the integrity of elections, how absurd is it to think that could be done by November?
Do some Republicans in the House think this can be done through reconciliation? What is your take on that?
No, it can't. If it could, we'd already be talking about it. Let's just stop playing games. Let's stop being dishonest. Let's recognize that 36 states have some form of voter ID today. Maybe we should go to Utah as a pilot case, get them to implement what Senator Lee is suggesting. They could get it done in a matter of a week, and then.
This is the issue, Tillis, and this is why somebody else will be sitting in your seat in the near future because you lost.
He lost.
You lost because you lost it. You've literally lost it. Now, why have we waited till
now
June to talk about the fact that, yes, we've got a primary election. And yes, most states have laws that do not allow you to change things this close to the election, to the primary election. I get that. November, we still have a shot. He talks about this being an unfunded mandate. Sir, you've already got infrastructure in place to carry this out. We're not recreating another branch of government. We're not recreating another pet project for you and your cronies. We're using the system that's already in place and saying, just do the job. It doesn't have to be funded heavily because your supervisor of election departments throughout the United States all already have budgets that can handle this.
Yep. See,
37 states in the United States have voter identification, and you're what? Content with that?
Yeah, apparently.
So tell me that you're not already content losing.
Yeah.
That's why you lost.
Exactly. Well, we're protecting a filibuster and not the American sovereignty. Don't sit here and tell me that you don't have the votes because this bill has been passed for almost 2 years.
Yes.
The Senate has been slow walking it. And now that it's at the it's crunch time, everyone is now talking about, oh, we don't have the
time. You know what you do to avoid this? Do you know what you do? You say, this is what's happening. We're enforcing the Constitution. We passed the Save America Act. You put the onus on the states to comply or get a financial fine.
That's how you get laws. That's how you implement laws. When you have spent your career as a lawmaker, not a law implementer, you don't understand how to implement laws.
It actually takes more time to sit in California and not check an ID.
Right.
Than it does because 90% of the infrastructure that's in place throughout the country, we did a little bit of investigation on this, I don't know, a year ago when we were talking about it, is already electronic based.
Yes.
You've got most of the information through the DMV. All you've got to do is mandate that your Department of Motor Vehicle departments communicate with your elections departments to check. And we do it preemptively here in the state of Florida. You know what? It didn't cost us a freaking dime.
No, of course not.
It was moral. It was the thing to do. How are you? Gosh. But you're also feeding a load of crap to the American people.
100%. 100%.
And most of them will believe you. And most of the lamestream media will believe you.
I am so glad that he will no longer be sitting in the Senate.
I mean,
and that's someone else.
Please don't give him a seat locally in like your local government.
No, don't.
Let him go count votes. Let him check IDs.
Yeah, or at Walmart. He's old enough.
He can be a greeter. He can check my receipt after I've purchased somebody online. Oh my God, this woman the other day was like, you know what really pisses me off? Can we have a squirrel moment for a minute?
Sure, let's do it.
She said, when you've already entrusted me to be volunteer of the year through self-checkout.
Yes. Yes.
And then
you have the audacity to ask for my receipt. Do you know how ridiculous that is? I literally said that to a lady. I was like, you can check the security camera. I understand that this is your job, ma'am, but you understand how ridiculous this is. You have two registers open.
Yes.
2 registers open.
And the rest of it's me.
And right. And I'm not an employee. I'm volunteering to check myself out and bag myself and walk myself to my car.
And I don't get
there's no discount.
And I don't get a W-2, right? No.
But you have the audacity to check my receipt to make sure I didn't steal nothing. You can check the camera.
Yes, I thought it was funny. Anyway, so good news is that Tillis will be tilling somewhere else and not in the Senate. But the reason we have to keep showing this, Allie, is because the audacity and the arrogance that you see in that clip it's the cancer that permeates through the Senate. Mm-hmm. Not all senators, I understand, but damn, like a whole lot.
It is bad.
And the fact that you've heard a sitting U.S. senator say 37 states have voter ID. I mean, 70% is a good average, isn't it? That's like telling me 70% of 10th graders being able to read is a good average.
Did you know that now 70% is like failing? You can't even pass now.
It ain't good.
Like that is insane. Anyway,
Yeah. So
I am so done.
we're done.
I'm so done.
We're done. So don't believe them when they say that there isn't time. As I said the other day, I was talking to House Rep Congressman Stubbe, and there are some great ideas that they still have to push this. Again, it's the November election. Should we have had it in place before the primary? I think that would have been great.
Agreed.
But you're right. You've dragged your freaking feet, your size 13s, long enough that now we are just a couple months, 50 days, 50 some days out from most of the primaries across the country. So now we've got to gear up for November. Not okay with you already taking a loss there, chalking up an L just because you lost your seat.
Well, the American people lose if this Save America Act does not get passed. I understand that it is an executive order, but I don't know how that will be implemented throughout the states. It is just this is not. It's not great. It's not great.
It's not great. And then I just love this because for every Tom Tillis, we're so thankful to God that you have somebody like a Mike Lee.
Yes.
Right. Because if this can't be done, then you'd have to explain why some of those in the Senate are saying that it absolutely can. Not only is Senator Mike Lee saying that it can be done, but he's through receipts showing the American people how they know it can be done. Take a
There you
look at
go.
this. Mike Lee says the talking filibuster will work. Pass it on. Here is a screenshot from a Clint Brown who is saying he was a staffer that worked for Cornyn. He said, "Sir, this is the staffer working for Cornyn. Sir, I have some expertise in the Senate rules and precedent. In fact, at one time, you were one of a dozen senators who paid me for that. The talking filibuster will work. Senators who refuse to do this to pass the Save America Act are the ones demoralizing their own base." And of course, he's sharing a post from Senator Cornyn that says he's marveling at these keyboard geniuses and grifters. Okay, just like a Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Do you hear what they're calling you?
Yep.
They're caught from the same cloth, and this is proving it. So yeah, they're calling you grifters. And what else did Hillary call us? Oh gosh, deplorables. Remember that? And then like Jill Biden was like calling Latinx as like burritos.
Yeah.
Spicy, whatever.
No.
Like,
No.
They tell you what they think of
Tacos.
you.
Breakfast tacos. I can't with that woman. Anyway, yes, it can be done. It can be done. Again, make it worthy of the anniversary of 250 years of our independence. Why not? That is the purpose.
And here's the thing, Thune and Tillis and Cornyn, if you don't know how to do your job,
Thorniness is that we're going to combine.
If you're not sure how to do it, I'm sure you could ask a staffer who does your job for you. They'll know how to do it.
That part.
Don't tell me they don't do their job.
Eat the spicy fajita this morning.
Breakfast burrito, man. Oh my gosh. Well, Allie, it's frustrating. We'll have to keep it.
Tabasco. Oh, sorry.
Did you say fresh Tabasco? That might clean up my sinuses, ma'am. Well, guys, how do you feel about them talking down and Senate-splaining to you about the American Act, Save America Act? I hate that. Nothing makes me more mad. And I think, you know why I think that's such a like thorn in my side is because usually with what we do, 9 times out of 10, that's the arrogance that we're first met with.
Yeah.
It's that first like, oh,
you don't understand,
ladies. So you're so beautiful, but you don't really know how this works. And then it's like,
right. And then we bring receipts.
Yeah.
Like
and then
they're like, oh
shit.
Oh, yeah.
And
do the talking filibuster. We'll record it, air it live. Like I don't. Is that what you want?
Ivan Raiklin style.
Like, do you want airtime? Like, I don't understand what the purpose of this is. Like,
what is C-SPAN for if not the talking filibuster?
What is the point of you bottlenecking this entire situation?
Oh my God, you could make C-SPAN. You could make the talking filibuster like the next Super Bowl. You could sell ad space.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean, if you're gonna see who's gonna win, like we could do a tick. Like who's
we could
point for point.
We could put the little COVID numbers down there. You know,
no,
like
it'd be point for point. Like a real debate, point for point.
Ding, ding.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
We could get an octagon in front of the White House.
No.
With just a microphone.
No, I can't. Look, I want to.
Let's get ready.
I do. I want to hear.
I do.
I want to hear the reason. I want to hear the reasons why you don't want to pass it.
Remember all of the debates when like we would have like a live that we were on for what was that show, The Homefront, and we would give our commentary during it. Like that would be fun.
Yeah, we should.
We would go totally live. See,
do it.
Popcorn, wine. We'd make it fun.
I again want to know your reasoning for not passing the Save America Act.
Well, guys, we've got so much more coming up in the second half, including some heartwarming stories, including one that Trump himself reshared about what's going on in the wake of the devastation in Venezuela. Obviously, 2 7-point something earthquakes hitting not far from each other, and they're still searching. They're still searching. There are some heartwarming stories coming. We'll be right back after this message from Liberty Cigars, so don't go anywhere.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
Welcome back to Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle. Those of you that don't know, we've had a few shows, including on Patriot TV and others, but we were formerly Open Mic Ladies. There was a rebrand that took place, and it's funny, every once in a while I'm reminded, because I run into people that want to share with me their thoughts on certain people that have been in our professional past. And it's a little validating to hear, because we had a big split professionally with others, and it's kind of interesting to hear how I think it's been a blessing that we've been able to separate, part ways, and be able to kind of do our own thing. We're grateful to Talk Red. Sometimes God removes people from around you, because he was sitting at tables and a part of conversations that you knew nothing about. So, Allie,
yes, ma'am.
Our viewers know this, but usually the United States kind of follows suit of what you see happening over in Europe, especially anytime we're under more of a left-leaning, socialistic kind of presidency or leadership. And that's not by accident. I think sometimes Europe is the testing ground to see, can we screw it up here? Great, send it to the Americas.
We'll start with California and New York.
Wow, she said it. It's true. And it's sad. It's very sad. We've seen this happen with the transgender reassignment surgeries that they tried on young people in gender mutilation.
Yeah.
Then Europe course corrected, and we were like, no, we still want to follow. We want to go in the wrong direction for a long time because it's profitable. Well, we did the same thing apparently with mass migration, and Secretary of State Rubio, I heard him talk about this over the weekend. He said, don't talk to me about immigration. He's like, I understand immigration. I lived immigration. That's not what just occurred under the Biden regime. It was mass migration.
That's what it was.
It's not immigration.
It was an invasion, actually. If we're honest, that's what it was.
Tell him, girl. Tell him.
Yeah, you don't open floodgates and say, hey, everyone, you're allowed in and we're not going to vet you.
Oh, yeah. So Parliament over in the European Union, we knew that they had passed out of committee what their version of committee is. The idea that they want to now start looking at deportations in Europe. I don't know how that's going to be carried out, but now you're going to see a video of what took place on the floor as it passed. Take a look.
A historic moment in Europe as the EU Parliament votes 418 to 218 to deport all illegal migrants. They're shouting, send them home.
The first reading of Parliament is closed.
Send them back. Send them back.
We couldn't get that on the floor of Congress.
No, half of them refused to stand. When it said, do you believe in, protecting America?
Americans, yeah.
Or Americans. No.
So what is this going to look like in Europe? Like,
I don't know. I'm interested to see how
Are they
it
going to get
turns
a
out.
deportation depot
They might.
and a alligator Alcatraz?
They might, and they'll probably send DeSantis over there to help them build it in 3 days.
He's free after November 4th of 2026. So I
November
mean,
3rd. Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
He's done.
Yeah, I
November
mean-
3rd. So yeah, sure. And maybe he
You know, we were invited to an event today, but I told her we were doing the show, and we love you, DeSantis.
I think Jay Collins would be perfect to help with that.
Right? He definitely has like
He
the militant background,
I
and
think
yeah,
that would be an amazing thing for him to do.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, and it's so servant-hearted.
Yes, very much so.
I think that's a great idea.
It's awesome.
Sex dog.
Yeah.
The dog is snoring. Are we in your way? Are we in your way?
Adorable.
That's so
Adorable.
cute. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they're going to carry this out. And to be honest, it was about, what was it, 418 to 218. So they did have a great majority, but it just goes to show, even in Europe, after everything they've seen, you know, obviously Starmer has stepped down because they've allowed so many third world type criminals into their country that it's decimated even their own population as far as with crime.
You know, and to explain this, like I've had to use cartoons to explain because some people just don't get it. And I'm like, have you ever seen Frozen?
Okay, yes.
So you know when they're like the gates are open?
It's Coronation Day.
It's Coronation Day, but
Yeah.
like open the gates. And what
Ah.
happened? Anna ends up falling in love with an
Like a
adversary
fraudster.
who came into her house without being vetted, right?
Oh, I
There
love
were
this.
adversaries that were in the open gates.
And they blended.
And they blended in, and they tried to take the throne.
They tried to take Arendelle.
They did.
Oh,
So I'm explaining this, and people are like, oh, yep. Oh, see? It makes
Wow.
sense, right? Like you can't open your gates.
but what first happened? Their parents were killed. You remove the parents from the household.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. See? There's
Disney blew my mind again. With
I'm just
y'all are
saying.
in cahoots with the intelligence community. aren't you?
Listen.
I mean, that's a great way. So, do you do this with your kids?
I do.
Okay, good. I think that's perfect.
I do. I have to because otherwise it's hard for them to conceptualize and to understand.
Yeah.
And they watch these things. And so I'm like, okay, well, how can I use this?
Yeah.
Because it kind of it correlates.
It
to real
does.
world. How can I use this to explain the gravity of this situation? And this is why we just don't trust people.
I mean,
This is why
maybe-
we vet people. We ask questions.
And maybe you could use the song "Let It Go" as a therapeutic treatment for TDS,
Yes.
Trump-Derangement syndrome.
Let it go.
Let it go. Because if you listen to anybody running for any office on the left, they are still talking about Trump.
Oh, 100%.
And it's like, he's not on the ticket in 2026.
yeah, no.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what is your plan?
And if it's not Trump specifically,
Yeah.
it's against their opponent who does support Trump.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's like
I was at another event by said organization, and organization was like, we're not allowing MAGA in here. And I looked and I'm Michelle. Michelle. And you know, for all the identity politic crap that you all do, you think you would at least get names right. And it was like, so when you know you're walking into a room and they're not voting for you anyway, then you just show up and you're authentically you.
yourself.
You just have to be yourself. But it really was kind of like, you know, don't yell at me for misgendering somebody. You just misnamed me. Like, that's not even close.
Nope.
Well,
So
creeping up
funny.
on the midterms, one of the things that Allie and I have done, Allie, you've done this a long time, even long before this, is really trying to get out the vote. Get you guys off of your best intentions, as you like to say, and get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. The midterms and the primaries are so important. So this is not going to make her happy at all. But take a look at this. This was the New York Post that has done some research on this. Check this out about George Soros. Wow, he just won't die. He looks vaccinated. George Soros has funneled a staggering 103 million into midterms so far, on track to shatter a spending record.
You know who was a part of this in 2020? Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. And now he was at the UFC fight.
Man, can we not?
Jeez.
But okay, Elon, because I was honestly thinking about, well, where is our equivalent counterpart? And Elon popped into my brain.
He is, yeah.
However, I don't necessarily know if he's actually putting money into these primaries, into some of these races, because that is important. We need to make sure we have some sort of equivalent, whether it's a better ground game than the others, or we have some funding, because at the end of the day, for whatever reason, in order for you to run a successful congressional campaign, it's going to cost you millions of dollars. And a lot of the people that are running for Congress or rerunning for Congress are self-funders.
Yeah.
That is not representation of the American people.
Right.
It's not, because if you're a millionaire, or you're, have your own business and it's very lucrative, you can run for office. But if you are an average Joe who really sees and understands the system and wants to make a change, it's much more difficult for you to get into a race. Even locally, it's going to cost you
absolutely
a couple thousands of dollars for you to run a successful race. Why on earth is it going to cost you $200,000 to run a school board race at a local? It's not even county-wide.
Well, mine is
Well, hers is countywide.
Yeah, but yours here wasn't.
No, mine was. I ran countywide.
Huge county.
Hillsborough County is a huge county.
Sarasota land-wise is huge too.
And it's a lot.
It's a lot. Well, and this is the thing. I think that's kind of frustrating, is that we say we've done the elite class ruling over us, and we've said on both sides of the aisle, maybe that's not the way to go.
Right.
And so then you kind of want to get a more representative government of people that look and sound and think more like us. How impossible is that? It's like they're gatekeeping because they have the affluence and the ability. And if we're going to go back to a government that is only operates by those in charge who have affluence, we just crawled right back into the lap of Europe.
Yep.
And England, like 1770 what? Because really we just went back. And I think that's what was so cool about hearing the stories of our founding fathers is that even though a lot of them did have affluence, you had many that didn't. They were just, look at somebody like Alexander Hamilton. He was considered a thug in his native land. He was a young kid and he's just scrappy. And if we want to get back to our 1776 moment in this country, we've got to find a way to help people run for office that aren't from that same elite class. Not to say that just because you have money, somehow you're unwarranted for running for office. But if you're going to reflect the people that you serve, you might start with being in the same socioeconomic status.
And I also want to point out that just because you have a picture with President Trump does not mean you're endorsed by President Trump.
Lord.
Listen. Just because a candidate has a photo with President Trump does not mean that candidate is endorsed by President Trump. Just because President Trump's image is on a handout, a pamphlet, a palm card, a stamp, whatever it is, does not mean that candidate is endorsed by President Trump. President Trump endorses candidates very specifically.
Yes.
Very specifically. And if you have to pay attention to that. And I'm so tired of people posturing like they are like they are the chosen candidate by the president when they are not, especially when they have been completely silent over the last 18 months.
Yep. Oh, I know exactly a couple that you're referring to. And just watch your mailboxes because they'll be coming. Everybody's got their annoying picture with Trump. It's annoying.
It is the most annoying.
Trump actually just came out. I forget who it was. That he came out and said you did not have my permission.
Sabatini.
Yeah. Sorry, Sabatini, you're the heart of the show yesterday and today. But knowing that somebody can use your name, image, and likeness without your consent. Listen, I wish he wouldn't have just stopped there. I wish he would have gone a little further into the Florida GOP.
Thank you.
In 2024. But we'll
it's okay, because honestly, these are the kinds of people that want to be elected. They're posturing, and they're counting on the fact that you are not smart enough to know the difference between a photo and an actual endorsement.
Yep.
That's the kind of person you want to send to Congress? That's the kind of person you want to send to the state house? I don't think so.
No, thank you.
But we're all on, but then you have the people that are commenting and talking about integrity and morality. Meanwhile, the same candidate that they're supporting has no integrity when it comes to this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, guys. Make sure that you what we see coming in the future, hopefully maybe in time for November, we'll talk about it. I would love to be able to have our Out of Pocket Live website have a state by state guide that we could, maybe it's somebody, maybe we're teaming up with Turning Point or teaming up with other organizations to say, here's who we think is best suited in your areas. Or maybe we reroute people to their, I don't want to say the GOP. I'm not going to do the GOP. I'm not going to do that. They're a club. Like they go play golf. We're not doing that. We're not gonna, anyway.
You got to be able to raise some money in order to back your candidates, and that's not really what's happening right now.
Well, Allie, I didn't know this in the midst of all the celebrations,
especially with George Soros putting billions of dollars.
Well, I jokingly said this at my very first debate. I don't have a Soros, and I don't want one either. But I could use your help. And literally, it's been the $20 and $50 here and there. Did you guys know there are 10 states? Clearly to avoid that they're boycotting America's 250th celebration. The signing of the Declaration of Independence has them all in their feels. Here are the 10 states to avoid, y'all. But don't come to Florida. Connecticut, Illinois, Pritzker, Maine. Well, Illinois, they couldn't keep apparently America 250 or the Bears. Maine, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island. Rhode Island.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
actually.
Vermont, the Washington State, thanks Antifa, and Pennsylvania. That's got Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like that's where you all freaking started.
Wow.
Really?
Oh wow.
Fetterman and
McCormick
teamed up to this. Okay, good.
Nice.
I like that. Oh, right here. Yes. Notably, Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro was one of the highest paid governors in the country. Oh, he's leading his state to sit this one out. But as our eye in the sky, Zach pointed out, they did Fetterman and McCormick collaborated to kind of override that. That's amazing.
That's good. Congratulations.
Wow. When Fetterman can find the right side of an issue.
Honestly, like why? And I'm getting messages too, because I was at the Great American State Fair kickoff.
Right.
And I'm getting like these comments are like, well, everyone hates Trump, which is why no one's there. And I'm like, first of all, this is about celebrating our states.
Yes.
And the fact that we have the United States of America. Like it has nothing to do with Trump. And everything to do with America and celebrating our independence from tyranny. Like, I don't understand where in your brain
these are the same people that are dumping algae into the Lincoln reflecting pool
and
because
pouring pork blood into the fountains. Like, I don't understand. Oh, Lord.
They're on to us, Allie.
They are.
They're on to us. That's okay.
Happening? I'll
That's
fix
right.
it here in a sec.
No,
but
they can go to voicemail.
I love you. Right? Like, what is that?
But meanwhile, in Vegas, take a look at the Sphere in Vegas. This is super cool. Take a look. Ew. Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. I mean, listen, if you can't find a little bit in you to be able to celebrate the fact that you live in a country, where's all the no kings people? You should really, this is your day. This is your day. America 250, July 4th is your day. You should be able.
You should be. This, I don't understand why this is such an issue. Not celebrating the sovereignty of America. I don't understand why. So it almost, I'm like, are we at the Civil War again? Like when you had a bunch of states that did not want to comply with the fact that we didn't want
slavery anymore.
Like, so we now have a bunch of states that do not want to, celebrate the sovereignty of America. Go to a different country. Leave. If you don't want to be a part, you can leave.
Yeah, I don't understand why you come here. I don't understand the thought process of coming to a country that you hate.
No,
and to try to change it on the inside. I'm talking about like those that are coming here across the border or whatever, and then they want to hold protests in the street.
But sis, these are people that actually live here and are American citizens. Like
I mean, but here's the thing: by the time
you
you're
spoiled brat.
Thank you. By the time you're 26 years into the century, I think you don't know any of the hardships around the world. You don't know any of the what it's taken to get here. I mean, if you think about it, you guys, if you could just be a fly on the wall in 1776, you wouldn't have the courage or the spine to
Not
really
even
watch or see what
that.
happened.
In 1771.
They're looking into New York Harbor and watching these ships dock and redcoats get off of the ships, and they've got like muskets and not even cannon fire. And their 13-year-old is standing there with a musket. You want to talk about peeing down both sides of your leg? Like, that's what they were doing. That's what they were looking at. And it was either we retreat and we give them this territory, or we fight for it. And I'll give you one more. What they did is they were very they were very criminal in the way that they would sometimes go in and steal things from the other side of the battlefield and come back and use those same things against them. I mean, our founding fathers and their families had to really fight with whatever they could find. And now we fight each other. It's really stupid. It's really, and this is why I think some of the early letters from the king back to America, because obviously later he tried to say, no, I'm totally behind this new government that y'all formed. He did it John Bolton.
Yeah.
Same mustache. But I think the reason why is because you realize defeat, but he was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. This experiment, what you're going to elect somebody new every time. And then what? You're going to hope everybody gets behind them. He's like, good luck with that. And then sometimes the enemy is just patient. Ooh. Sometimes the enemy is just patient for you to trip all over yourself. And I think that's what enemies around the globe have been doing to the United States. Look at the IRGC. They're like, just sit it out. They got an election about 3 months or so. We might be dealing with a whole totally different Trump. Yeah. A Trump that's not up for re-election, that thinks he's going to be impeached. Good luck with that, IRGC.
Yeah, that might be the oh my goodness,
right? Like, find out your own way.
This is just crazy to me. Like, you spoiled brat. It's like growing up affluent.
Yeah.
And you like hate your parents because you drive around in a Porsche and you went to an Ivy League school.
What rapper was that was like, they found out later that like he talked about being from the streets, but he was really from a very affluent. I actually like him.
I don't remember.
It's Vanilla Ice.
Really?
Stop, collaborate, and listen. Yes. With the shaved eyebrow.
Okay.
Come on, guys. He was a cutie back in the day.
Again, spoiled brat. Like,
But,
how
yeah.
dare you? You live here. You reap what others have sown for you.
Yeah.
You benefit all the benefits that we have here in America, and you're just like, I don't care about American independence. Let's screw that. Like, what?
Well, when you raise a generation that doesn't love what we have, have not even learned correctly what we have. So why would they ever love it? This is the number one thing that I appreciate about working with Turning Point students.
Yes.
And really any students, but those are the ones that we find ourselves around, is that when you engage in discussion and you let them talk and debate topics and they ask questions, and then you provide truth to them, you can see them on fire for truth. This is what Charlie knew to do better than anybody, Charlie Kirk.
He had such a gift, man.
And that's and honestly, Allie, it's times like this that I so miss Charlie Kirk. And I love Erica Kirk, and I love what Turning Point is still doing, and they're going to have their haters, but think about how awful you are to turn around and hate an organization that you say you love the person who created. Like, you can go ahead and be somebody that doesn't approve of everything that they do, but my God, again, the enemy just sits and lets you turn on yourself.
Yep. It's wild. It's wild. Can we please just celebrate America?
Let's just celebrate America. You want a little bit of perspective? All right, guys, you know, Venezuela had 2 back-to-back catastrophic earthquakes. Take a look at this. Trump reposted this. It's a video of a little baby girl being rescued. Take a look. So that is all of the, first of all, boots on the ground in Venezuela to help with the rescue efforts and to provide relief to them. They're still, I mean, this a lot of it looks like they're 9/11 trying to dig people out of the rubble. So this is what America does well, right? I mean, you can see why.
Efforts.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and let's show this next video. This is the one that Trump reposted as well. Take a look.
Baby's alive.
I mean, it's been, Allie, this happened what, Saturday? Friday, Saturday? I can't remember what, and there was obviously back-to-back earthquakes. So if you think about how long, you know, there are people still needing to be rescued, and because of the failed leadership of gangster kingpin like Maduro in Venezuela, they're largely unprepared to be able to help their people now. And so what I love is that America and Americans go in and do the exact thing that we say we're going to do, because we want to make sure that they have relief. Not allowing the Clinton Foundation anywhere near it, but going in and helping. That's going to be a miracle story right there.
Oh, for sure. And they're going to look to America and, you know, be thankful and grateful for that, which is, you know, it's always nice to have instead of having the opposite happen. Yes. So I'm grateful for our men and women that are assisting in this, in these tragic, but good stories of rescue.
Keep praying for those, in the search efforts that are ongoing, because I believe there's a lot more that can be found. And what a great miracle story. We need these good feel-good stories. We do. Because then for every one of those, we got a frickin' Thune.
And Attilas and God knows who
TikTok. The clock is running out, and you guys pretty soon won't be in your seats. So, Allie, I guess that's it for us here today on Out of Pocket Live. We hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, follow at Real Allie Leger and at Michelle Posey on all platforms. Sis, we'll be right back here again tomorrow, same time.
Yep.
Same
Love
place.
you guys. Make sure you keep that mic open and stay out of pocket. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
2 queens, no filter, say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real.